Coming up on the Sports Desk, champs, I'll say it again, they're champs. The Knights own the Golden State, but guess what? They'll be coming back for more sooner than you'd think. On the diamond, the Saxons continue to roll, no time to rest after locking up that TNT crown, because now it's time to focus on that CIF title. And speaking of hot streaks, the Warriors looking for one of their own. Can a conference win get them headed in the right direction as the regular season's end closes in on them? Or will they continue to bounce back and forth around the 500 mark some more? All that's coming up right here, right now, on the Sports Desk. What's up, Torrance? Looking forward to hanging out with you another week on the Sports Desk, so let's just jump right into it. It's the biggest game we've seen in this town in about 5 years, although technically it wasn't actually in this town, I guess. Nonetheless, rewind to the year 2001. Doug Mitchell was hovering around his first decade as the main man in Bishop Montgomery hoops, and the Knights had wrapped up back-to-back state championship seasons. You'd think 10, 15 years down the road, they'd be bringing multiple state titles back to Torrance at that rate, but not so fast. 2009, they suffered a heartbreaking one-point loss in the state final. A year ago, 2 losses all season long on one of the most stacked teams you'd see in prep hoops, with the second loss coming in the SoCal Regional Final. 2 wins shy. So no, of all the great squads to come through Bishop Montgomery High hoops, you weren't crazy if you didn't pick this year's team to win it all behind just one senior. But that wasn't going to stop them. And of course, it was the main man we call JB taking control early. Bibbins didn't have the biggest numbers of the day, but was dominant nonetheless, allowing the Knights to jump out to an early big lead. They'd go into the half with a cushy 17-point gap, and it wasn't even that close. Comfortable enough lead, the senior captain able to watch the end of the game from the bench, getting a big hug here from Coach Mitchell in their last game together after 4 years. And it was all smiles for the Bishop Montgomery Knights as they smoked Moreau Catholic 85-44. This, the largest margin of victory ever in a state title game. The previous record was 36 points, set in 1997. The Thompson brothers nearly account for that many points on their own. This will be the duo to watch out for next season. More on that later. JB, Justin Bibbins, closes out his career with 12 points and a whole lot of D. I've got another stat for on the day for you from this one. You know how many seniors played in this game between the Knights and the Mariners? 1. 2 rosters, 1 senior between them. In fact, Moreau representing Northern California's regional champs with just 2 juniors on their entire squad. The rest of that lineup, all freshmen and sophomores, going all the way to the state final. So, for the 3rd time in school history, the Knights are state champs. They accomplished that feat with a 28-6 record on the season. We talked about it on the show before, the strength of those losses. All 6 teams they fell to this season were a part of the CIF Southern Section's Super Bracket, the boys' Open Division, and all eventual contenders for the state title in the SoCal Regional Tournament. And they did it all with 1 senior, like I said, which means expectations will be obnoxiously, relentlessly, unreasonably high when we tip off the 2014-2015 season. The Thompson brothers, Stevie and Ethan, will be a senior-sophomore duo to be reckoned with a total of 4 of this year's starting 5 coming back. It's repeat or bust now. Okay, everybody, that closes the books on the winter. We are all spring sports now, down the home stretch for summer. Opening day in the bigs this week, so of course, we're going to spend a little time on the diamond here when we come back.
Hey, Carl, what's with the lights? Blow a fuse or something?
I wish. Ugh, the electric bills here.
You know, there's a better way to lower your bill than sitting in the dark and hoping for the best.
What, unplug the refrigerator?
No, Edison Smart Connect is coming. It's a new way to manage your electric consumption, and it could help you lower your electric bills. It'll all start when Southern California Edison replaces our old meters with a new Edison Smart Connect meter. Now, the new meter will send data to your personal online dashboard at SCE.com, where you'll be able to see how much electricity you're using every day, by the hour. By taking charge of your electricity usage through Edison Smart Connect programs like Save Power Days and Budget Assistant, you'll waste less electricity, save money, and help the environment. So you'll never have a surprise at the end of the month with Edison Smart Connect.
Ooh, I think his wife just saw the electric bill.
Why wait? Use my account on SCE.com today. You can also learn about all the other great programs SCE has, so we can all save energy, money, and the environment.
Hi, welcome back to the Sports Desk. Next up, we've got some Elko news for you today, which will take us over to the softball field first. While the Warriors on the other diamond are currently duking it out for first place in the South Coast Conference, the Lady Warriors have never really had many ups. They haven't exactly had many downs either. Hovering right around a 500 win-loss record all season long has taught its share of lessons to the Warriors, though.
Sometimes scratching out a 500 record can be even more challenging than enduring a losing season. You win one, you lose one step forward, one step back. That's been the story through much of the El Camino Warriors softball season. And if one game could sum up that experience, and maybe even foreshadow a happy ending, a mid-season rematch against Long Beach read like a biography of the 2014 Warriors.
We tried to keep a really loose tempo coming into the game because I know how bad this team wanted. This game was huge for us to stay in the hunt for playoffs, and so we just wanted them to remain relaxed more than anything. We didn't want them to feel the pressure of this game. We kept telling them, have fun, have fun, have fun.
An afternoon that featured 3 lead changes, highlighted by a lot of opportunistic offense by the Warriors, led to an eventual 8-6 conference win, leaving Elko happy enough to dance, even if just for one afternoon.
Yeah, they made me dance. I don't think they've seen Coach dance before, but I had mentioned it to my AD. He was like, feel good? I said, I feel great. I feel like dancing right now. And he kind of called me out on it in front of the team, so I had to do it.
Oh, she was just happy. She was dancing. We made her dance. So, I mean, when she's in a good mood and we win, then everything's good.
With no winning streaks longer than 2 games and no losing streaks longer than 2 games, the Warriors have been searching for the tipping point to set out for their first real hot streak of the season.
Being able to be a team outside of the field as well is what's keeping us together during our games, and I think that's what's most important.
After taking 4th place in conference away from the rival Vikings, then continuing their back-and-forth trend in the Santa Barbara tourney, with 3 weeks until the postseason, sometimes how hot you get isn't nearly as important as when you get hot.
Oh, we have a tough schedule. We've got a lot of great teams in our conference, and so that's kind of where it is. It's like any day, any team can beat anybody. So we're going to have the wins, we're going to have the losses at times, but today was a great tempo.
And like I said, that win one, lose one trend continues for the Warriors outside of league play as they went to the Santa Barbara tournament. Day 1 over the tourney, a split for Elko after dropping the opener to the host team. Sunday, another rough one. The Warriors lose to both Fullerton and Saddleback before they'll get back to holding that 4th place spot and a run at the postseason this week in the South Coast Conference. They will be closing out the regular season with the rubber match in that Long Beach rivalry in 3 weeks at El Camino. Meanwhile, the Warriors baseball team gave themselves something to celebrate over the weekend by jumping in the tie for first place in conference. They completed the 3-game sweep over Compton on a 4-hit, 8-inning effort from former Bishop Montgomery Knight, Andy Bershinger. So they enter the week tied with East LA for first in the SCC. Coincidentally, they have a 3-game series against East LA this week also, entering the series winners of 13 of the last 16 games. Also in first place on the El Camino campus, the men's volleyball team on the road this week after dropping their first game in over a month. They bounced back after the loss, though, with a huge win over second place Long Beach. Beach's 2 conference losses, now both to El Camino, which will go a long way in inching the Warriors closer to locking up the school's first ever conference title. Funny, we started the show with our official close to winter sports in Torrance with the Bishop Montgomery boys winning a state title. Makes it feel like we're really just getting started in spring, but don't be fooled. In the pool, the Warriors have already wrapped up their conference season for spring. The men wrapped up their season with a strong 5-2 record, while the ladies were an even 4-4. Next up is the Pasadena Invitational with conference championships starting April 17th. Jonathan Diaz of the men's team has qualified for state championships in 3 races, the 500 free, the 1650 free, and the 400-yard individual medley. And finally, before we wrap up the news on Elko for the day, we're putting the word out on the 2014 Warriors Athletics Golf Classic. Registration for the fundraising tourney is open until the end of the month. That gives you all of April to get your game ready for the 4-person scramble. All the proceeds from that day of golf will support all 21 Warrior Athletics programs, but not just simply for equipment or for uniforms. It'll be used for academic support services like tutoring or staff development. So this tourney covering a lot of ground this year in advancing Warrior Athletics. Okay, everybody, break number 2 coming right up. Back to more prep action. We check in on the North Saxons, see if they're still riding the wave of last month's TNT Championship week.
Winston, just one more inning, Grandma.
Ever notice how many things today kids can do without actually moving? A whole lot of things their parents used to do the hard way. So many kids' activities today seem to leave out the activity part, which makes exercise even more important for children. In fact, new research tells us the best time to enhance bone development is during childhood and adolescence. And just getting children to walk an extra 35 minutes a day could spare them the pain of thinning bones later in life. Healthy bones come from healthy habits. Encourage your kids to get up, get out, and get moving.
Hello. Hey, Grandma, how about another grape soda?
A public service message on building strong bones for kids from the Pediatric Orthopedic Society of North America and the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills 1 person every hour. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.